Good morning from Ryde on the Isle of Wight, where yesterday I had a very train-filled adventure visiting every station on the island line. So today I'm going to have a very bus-filled adventure as I visit other locations on the island, because it's not like there's many other train services here. Starting with the longest bus route on the island, the Island Coaster Service, that starts at Ryde and goes all around the coast to Yarmouth and takes almost 3 hours. It beats London's longest bus route. This is going to take some time. So you can see the Island Coaster Service there. It's that thin brown line from Ryde going around by Bembridge, which I did consider taking a coast walk through to reach Brading. Perhaps that's for another time. Through Sandown and Shanklin, where I was on the train yesterday, down to Ventnor, that the railway used to go to, over to Blackgang Chine, which is the oldest theme park in the UK, dating from 1843, and then right along the south coast all the way to the iconic Needles, and then up to Yarmouth. So we've got a green timetable today, which means there is only one of these, just the one Island Coaster Service, that does take almost 3 hours to reach Yarmouth. But there is actually one that starts earlier from Sandown, but then we'd miss out the Bembridge section. And you can get a day ticket for £16.20, but if you get the app, you can actually get it for £15.50, which is what I have.
This is the Island Coaster to Ventnor, Blackgang and Yarmouth.
Well, I've made it to Yarmouth, the other end of the Island Coaster Service, which is definitely one of the most impressive bus routes I've ever caught. It's the longest one on the island, and it has some fantastic, stunning views as well. It took 2 hours 50. The bus did leave 7 minutes late though, but it arrived on time, and because I'm kind of doing it during the middle of the week, and it's not school holidays, it's off season slightly, not many passengers caught it, so there was a bit of slack time. That's my only gripe with it. There was a bit of waiting around at some of the bus stops, but definitely well worth a catch. And I'm going to catch another service now back towards the Needles, but not before I do a quick explore of Yarmouth. So Yarmouth is one of the locations where you can catch a ferry over to the mainland, Lymington. At some point, potentially this year, I will do a coast walk from Lymington. So Yarmouth seems to be quite a historic town on the Isle of Wight as well, as this is the position of one of the old gateways into the town. I mean, you know a place is historical if it has a castle. This one was built by King Henry VIII in the year that he died, 1547. Possibly the latest castle that he had commissioned. So there is a paid entry, but you can get a good little sneak look at it anyways before you actually head in there, which, considering I'm not here for long, I'm just sort of passing through. This is pretty cool. Oh, hang on. What's in here? Oh. That's quite a lot of chains. Oh, it's all stuck to my bag. Magazine inserted into space of gunner's lodging before 1718. Right. Then what's through here? Early 17th century. Wow, this is... yeah, very cool. Well, Yarmouth is a delightfully surprising, pleasant, quaint town. Honestly, I love this place. Yarmouth even manages to have a lovely village sign here as well. I'm very surprised by this place. It's much nicer than I thought it was going to be. Again, this is quite a delightful treat because I've come across an old mill here which gives you a fantastic view out across the water. I didn't quite know if I was able to go this way, but then I spotted the public footpath sign, and this is the path I wanted. And that's because that path leads onto an old railway line. I wasn't going to come to Yarmouth and not look at its old station, which would have sat on a branch from Newport between 1889 and 1953. And there's a lot more here than I was expecting to see. This is a great restoration project that took place to restore the old platform and station house here. The signal box here, with its station sign attached, Yarmouth, has now been turned into a cycle hire store, and there's even a slightly rotting semaphore signal over here as well. There's a poster here that shows the network of railways that used to be on the Isle of Wight. It's not in the best quality, so you might not be able to read some of the places that well, but right down to Shanklin is all that exists nowadays. No branch to Bembridge, no railway to Ventnor, none to the centre at Newport or out to Cowes or all the way down here at Yarmouth. Well, Yarmouth is a charming little place. I love it here, and considering there's no trains anymore, it's time to catch another bus, but this time it won't actually be 3 hours long. And if this sign is anything to go by, calling it one of the most spectacular bus rides in Britain, I am looking forward to this, especially as it will be an open top bus. The Needles Breezer service to, well, the Needles. Super windy though, definitely messed up my hair, but I don't care. That was a lot of fun. Calling it one of the best bus rides in Britain though is controversial. It has some very fair competition with another open top bus route that heads to the westernmost point in Britain, which is Land's End. But the Needles here is the westernmost point on the Isle of Wight. It is an iconic viewpoint. We have to go and see the Needles, surely. Well, here we go. I found a set of stairs down right beside the coast, and this is where you get the stunning shot of the Needles. And not just that, but the chalky cliff face and the waves crashing up on that little bay down there is more than enough. But there you go. That's what this expedition was all about, to get to this point and to see the Needles and its lighthouse sticking out right at the end. And speaking of it being windy, it's actually not too bad down here. I'm kind of sheltered a little bit because there's a slight descent. But on the 18th of February 2022, during Storm Eunice, I remember it very well because I remember the roof of the O2 Arena in London got blown off. The highest ever gust of wind in England was recorded right here at around 122 miles per hour, which is insane. And I'm kind of glad that I'm off here a little bit off season right now, because I've got this viewpoint to myself, which is incredible. It's very quiet here now that the bus has left. Everybody's gotten on it. It drops you right by both the old and new batteries, which are situated up here, the old Fort War batteries. So charges do apply for the old battery, but I sort of naively assumed I might be able to get a better shot of the needles by heading all the way down there at first, which, I mean, you can see them, but you probably get a better view if you actually pay to go in. So yeah, it wasn't worth climbing all the way down to just come all the way back up again. I can at least get to see part of the newer one, but it is actually currently closed. Oh, there's a rocket exhibition here. Wow, it's actually really silent down here. I'm not too fussed about seeing these anyways. I came out here purely just to see the actual needles themselves. Oh, it does look like there's a little entryway here. Unless this is just a blocked off room. Yeah, it's just a blocked off room. Let's have a look on top instead. I'm sure there's a great view. Oh yeah. What a stunning location this is. Looking down towards Adam Bay down there, which is my next port of call. I'm wondering whether to walk back, or because I got a day ticket, I can actually catch the bus just one stop back. Yeah, I decided to walk it. Brilliantly, I can spy a spit of land jutting out from mainland England over there. And I think there's a little castle or something at the end of it, which you can catch a ferry service to. And I may do that if we do a coast walk in Lymington. So it's pretty fantastic to spot it, as well as the Dorset coast over there that is leading all the way up to it. Adam Bay is quite well known for its different coloured sand. There's quite good evidence of that here. Very impressive as well. Looks like some sort of huge landslide might have happened. Well, there we go. I'm at the bottom of what I described as the landslide here at Adam Bay. And you might be surprised to find out that I didn't actually walk down here. No, I caught a chairlift. I spotted them. I've never been skiing, I've never been on a ski lift or anything like that. For the experience, I'm going to catch that coming down. And it is a £6 single, or it's an £11 return, but the last one back up is at 4 PM. And it's getting close to that time. I didn't want to rush it, because Adam Bay down here is just incredible. The coloured chalky cliff face are just stunning. Honestly, this whole area might be one of my new favourite places. This and the Needles. But you know, I think I actually would recommend catching the chairlift down instead of up, because as you go over the edge of the cliff and start to head down, it's quite exhilarating, even for such a slow ride. Oh my god. Even if it does mean I now have to actually climb back up the cliff. But that's okay, I don't mind that. And I've got time. My bus is at 4:45, so I'd rather chill down here than back up there. And rather than catch the Island Coaster service, there is one return service tonight, all the way back around to Ryde, which is going to take ages, obviously. I'm going to try and shorten that time by heading more directly across the island, by catching a bus to the centre at Newport, and then one from Newport to Ryde, which I think runs every 10 minutes. So I can realistically even get in a little bit of an explore at Newport. So I was going to say this is a great place to end this adventure, but it's not over yet. And what's absolutely fantastic about being here at this time is that everyone's either caught the chairlift up or they're not really coming down here now because a lot of the tourist stuff upstairs is closing. So I essentially have the whole bay here to myself, the whole little beach, which, it's just amazing. Wow, it's so strange now that I've ascended back up to the top because everything's now closed. So it's feeling like a bit of a ghost town whilst I wait for the bus. This was heaving with people earlier and now there's no one. And there it is, Route 12, which will take me back to Newport. I say back, I've not even been there yet. It'll take me part of the way back to Ryde. Oh, this is a very posh bus. It has tables. That is a rarity. And these seats are quite comfortable. They're padded very nicely.
Route 12 to Newport.
And after bang on an hour journey, I've made it to Newport, right in the centre of the island and the Isle of Wight county town. And the journey is still not over yet. I've got about a half an hour ride to go to make it to Ryde. And that bus does run every 10 minutes, so I don't mind missing one or two to have a quick wander around Newport. And with Newport being at the centre of the island and the biggest town here as well, it once would have had railways stretching in all directions to Cowes, Yarmouth, Ryde and Ventnor. So it's a little bit depressing that this is all that remains of it today. This is an awful location. This isn't exactly as picturesque a location as the former Yarmouth station that we saw earlier, but it's not like there's no Newport stations in the country. We're not starved of them. There's one in South Wales and there's one in Essex. If this existed, there would have been 3, and it probably would have saved me time to get back to Ryde. So back down to the bus station I go. I have stumbled across a surprisingly historical street here. Back to the bus station. This is nice. And it brings you out by the Guildhall, which is a nice building. Okay, back via the Minster for my final bus on the island. And even with the detour, Route 9 will still get me back to Ryde before the island coaster takes the long way round. Also, this is the first 26 plated bus I've seen, and I'm going to be catching it.
Route 9 to Ryde.
Well, that was quite the circular journey around the island. I can't believe I've rode the full length of 4 buses on the Isle of Wight. No, I'm not doing all of them like I did in London. Feels quite weird to be back in Ryde where it all began. But in reality, this whole thing began on the other side of the Solent. So I'm going to walk up the pier now and catch the ferry back over to Portsmouth, and then the journey isn't even over. I've got a long train ride to London. That's been a long day, but really fun. I love the Isle of Wight. I had so much fun here. Thank you for watching these 2 videos, and subscribe for more adventures coming soon. Well, goodbye Ryde. I'm really glad I made no ticket to Ryde, or let's skip this ride to Ryde jokes throughout the whole thing. I don't even know